This week on the Autocar Show, we have the 3Ms, an iconic luxury small car, a luxury SUV, and to make it a perfect mix, a luxury sports car at the Buddh circuit. And Hormuz talks about an Indian manufacturer's plans for the future. Hello and welcome to the Autocar Show. Now, small cars are generally big stories in the Indian market. Well, today we're covering a very special kind of small car. Now, this one has a big history behind it. It is a big icon and it has some pretty big names worldwide that either own one or want to own one. Got an inkling of what I'm talking about? Any idea which car this is? What makes this such an icon? What makes it so aspirational? Let's find out. Visually, the Mini looks really compact and low, but there's no getting away from the fact that it is an eyeball magnet. I had loads of people tapping on my window to say sexy car whilst I drove it. And it really is. The way it melds retro with racy is really interesting. The semicircular grille with the round headlamps contrasted by the racing stripes and the air intake positioned like a snout. The way the glass is all flush with the A-pillars and the flat square line of the roof. The rear that is stylized by the honeycomb grille amidst the bumper and the trapezoidal tail lights. To finish it off, the dual tailpipes that give you a hint of the power under the hood. The inside is retro chic too, mixed with modern day tech. The big round dials and the lever-like switches take you back to the past, while the multi-info display screen reminds you that this is very much a car of the present. I love the shiny black twirl that divides the silver of the switches and the dual-tone coloring that matches the exterior. The steering with the paddle shifts and the controls is very much modern day, and still the circular center with the Mini logo makes you think that this is a yesteryear car. The quality all around the inside is really top-notch, and you can't help but be excited with this little car. But that's a bit of a story. Okay, getting in and being in the back seat, not the most comfortable place to be. Let's just say it's better to concentrate on the front of this car, especially under the hood. The 1.6 184 bhp engine with just a 1100 kg car, that should be fun. It's a nice punchy engine. It's got a good strong mid-range and it feels pretty comfortable at the top end too. The nice part about its engine is that it's comfortable ambling in the city and it's equally strong out on the highway. The gearbox is pretty fun too. Shift it into sports and your downshifts get noticeably quicker. The only thing is that second gear is a bit short. So especially when you're cornering, you find yourself using the manual mode a lot more because it shifts into third too quickly and you often want it back in second. The little Mini feels like a pocket-sized rocket, and no matter how much you drive it, you're always left wanting for more. The beauty of the engine is not only is it smooth, refined and punchy, but it's extremely versatile too. As much as it enjoyed being pushed, it was as comfortable ambling in city traffic. What also surprised me was the low-speed ride. It seemed to handle the Indian roads pretty well, and I expected it to be a lot firmer. cornering with this car is just loads and loads of fun. And that's because, the steering is just so direct. The car is so agile. It just darts into corners. It's like a gazelle. Change direction and it goes exactly where you want it to go. The nimbleness and agility that is such a boon in the horrendous traffic of our cities also makes the Mini a stimulating drive on a windy section of road. The short wheelbase and the massive tires make it tackle the corners like a race car, and you can hurl it around with abandon. Push it a little bit, the tail does step out, and you can have lots of fun with this car. But it's at the higher speeds that you do feel the firmness of the suspension, and the Mini thuds through all the bumps and potholes. Still, this car is just so adrenaline-inducing when you're behind the wheel, and such truckloads of fun that you forget all about the firmness and you just can't get enough. Well, most of you have probably taken a look at the Mini Cooper, seen me driving it, and are already thinking in your mind, hey, this is a chick car. Well, that's what most of the boys at the office thought as well, until they drove it. And then here's what they had to say.
It's really fun to drive, and I would say it's simply one of the best front-wheel drive cars that I've ever driven.
Chick credentials be damned, I'm really saving for one.
I want one, yeah.
Male or female, young or old, this car has an appeal that cuts across all. It tugs at your heartstrings and makes you pretty irrational. Suddenly, it seems practical for our conditions. Small, easy in traffic, light steering, comfy to park. But one has to face reality. There's a lot that's not practical about this car, like the 28.6 lakh ex-showroom Delhi price tag for one. Well, there are lots of impractical things about the Mini Cooper. It's a two-door, the rear seat's really tight on space and pretty negligible, and the fact that the price is really sky high for a car of this size. But get your hands behind the wheel and you will forget what the word impractical means. This car will make you fall in love with it instantly, and you begin to understand why it really is such a big icon worldwide. Just the directness, the way it feels, the way it handles, the drive, and that luxury feel that you get from inside. The punchy engine, absolutely everything puts a smile on your face. What can I say? Except for once you drive one of these, all you'll want to do is go home, break the bank, and buy one of them. Stay tuned. On the other side of this break, we take a test drive of the ML350 CGI, and we also drive the M5 at the Buddh circuit.